What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Comment of the day is popping up on the screen right here. So today we are going to be installing power mirrors into a truck that did not come with power mirrors. So this video is mainly directed to a 99 to 03 body style truck. It might work on the 6.0s, the 04 to 07, but this is on a 99 to 03. And I mean, if you're adding mirrors onto another truck, the process may be the same as this, and you could probably just follow along a little bit, but the plugs are going to be a little bit different, and the mirrors themselves are going to be a little bit different. So I stopped by a junkyard and picked up a wiring harness out of a 99 F-250, just like mine, but it had the power mirror option, and mine does not. I've already bought a switch off Amazon. I will have all the links to everything I use in this video linked down below, everything except for the wiring harness. So unfortunately I could not find the exact plugs anywhere online. It was just something that you have to find a parts truck or a junkyard, a U-Pull-It, anything. I couldn't find the plugs. I searched forums, I searched eBay, I searched Amazon, I searched Ford, I searched everywhere. I could not find the plugs anywhere. So I went to a U-Pull-It, got the plugs myself. And today I'm going to be kind of just mocking everything up. Unfortunately, I just moved. We are at a new house and I ordered everything on Amazon without changing my address. And they were going to the other house. I tried to cancel the order. 2 of the items shipped and now they're actually lost in shipping. One of them, I had a friend from Valdosta go check the house, was not there. The other package says it was sent back to the facility, but it says it's still arriving, it's just running late. So we're going to have to continue this video on once I get those items, but today we can kind of get everything wired up. So our main plug from this harness would be this one right here. This is the one that actually plugs into our control switch that tells the mirrors where to move. There's 8 wires into this plug, and from my understanding there's 3 positives, 3 grounds, 2 constant powers, and 2 constant grounds. This plug, I believe this one right here, goes to the mirror itself. And then I took the same plug off of the passenger side, this one right here. So this one will be on the passenger side and we will just have to run the wires across the cab over to it. But this is going to control our up, down, left, right from our driver's side as well to our passenger side. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this all broken down and figure out where exactly these wires go, get them pulled out, and try and use most of what we already have.
For anyone wondering why I didn't just pull this harness out of the parts truck and just put it right into the new truck, I wanted to do that. I actually started to pull the dash off of the parts truck at the junkyard and soon found out that the harness runs into the main harness that's in the dash. Ford didn't do this very simple to where it just plugs into a bigger harness, or one simple harness runs to a BCM, a body control module, or anything like that. Unfortunately, the harness runs into the main harness where all of the wires go to a body control module, which would have made it really difficult to just pull everything out and utilize all those wires. One, because my truck did not come factory with power mirrors, so odds are the factory body control module in my truck would not be programmed for the mirrors. So I started to take the dash apart, found that harness, and quickly realized that it would make my life a living nightmare to try and do that into my own truck without breaking anything, because luckily in parts trucks you don't really have to worry about breaking anything, as most of everything is already broken. But that's why I just decided to cut the wires, and I would just utilize the plugs and replace the wires myself, and then just find my own power and ground to wire into the plug. That way I won't have to worry about a body control module or anything like that. What I'm doing here is reading off a diagram that I found from a forum that dated all the way back to 2011. The guy that made this diagram is doing exactly what I'm doing here, which is adding power mirrors to a truck that did not come factory with power mirrors. What I really needed from this diagram was our constant power and ground. Our constant power is our green wire, our constant ground is our black wire, and the blue wire is our illumination. Everything else goes to the mirrors for the up, down, left, and right controls.
I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start disassembling the door to get into our wires for the mirrors. Since I kind of have an understanding of what all these are, I can ground out one wire kind of splice all this together and see if I can get some controls to the mirror just using a 12-volt battery. Alright, so all this right here is an adapter harness for the 08 Plus mirrors. If you buy any aftermarket mirrors designed for these trucks, normally they come with this harness. If you get the mirrors off a newer truck, you can buy this harness online. I will have a link for it down below just in case you guys are looking for this exact harness and you can't find it. I'll have one linked for you guys. Alright, so this is probably one of the easiest wiring jobs I've ever done. So the yellow wire coming out of the switch ties into both sides. It not only ties into the left side plug when you have the 3 wires coming into this plug for the mirror, it conjoins to the other side. This controls your up and down action. So I don't know if you guys can see the mirror through the window. And now we easily have down, up, left, and right. So now we have 3 wires to run to the passenger side. And then we can just tie into a power source. I know the ground is in the main harness ground, so I'm going to tie it in with there. Won't have an issue with that. The main power source, I think we're going to have to run to a fused relay. There should be a constant hot somewhere in this harness. I'm going to look it up, see if I can find it. Once I find it, I'll see if I can tie in with that. Without it interfering with our window controls or our lock controls. I don't want to try to turn my mirrors and my window go down, or turn my mirrors and my lock's locked or anything like that. So tie into a ground, tie into a power. Our illuminated source, honestly there should be another illuminated source in here as well. Like there's a blue wire here because these do light up. So I should be able to tie in with that. Now that we have this out, I am going to mount our switch for our mirrors right up here, just like this.
To mount your power mirror switch, I suggest getting a door bezel that already has a cutout for it. But if you're like me and yours got lost in shipping, or you're trying to make do with what you have, you're going to have to cut it out of the existing bezel that you already have. So first, you want to trace the power mirror switch onto the bezel, kind of make sure that you have a general idea of the size of it, and then cut it out. A Dremel would be the right tool for this job, but if you're like me, you don't always have the right tool for the job, and you make do with what you have. So here I'm using a step bit in my drill and using a file to kind of fine tune my edges. You want to periodically check and make sure that you're not taking too much material off, because you can always trim more, but you can't replace what you take off. So pull the switch back, check, make sure you're not taking too much off, and then once it finally fits in right, close your eyes and it'll look good to you, just like it looked good to me.
Interrupt this broadcast to let you guys know my truck does fit in the garage. Yeah, that close. Like, I've figured out our wiring situation. Instead of running the green wire all the way down here and splicing into something down here, I am going to cut it back up here. I've since pulled this tape back that I spent so much time wiring. I went and looked at my old harness to figure out what my ground was. All these black wires all work as a ground. Well, that wasn't the case. I spliced this into a black wire. It ended up not being a appropriate ground. I have since found out, since if you guys are going to be doing this, you most likely already have power windows and power locks. You're just trying to add power mirrors on. If you don't have power windows or power locks, this is not your video. This yellow wire right here with the green stripe is your main power source. It only comes on when the ignition is on. That's what you want, is a fused relay. That way this doesn't have a constant draw. Then this black wire directly to the right of it is our ground. And then the blue wire directly to the right of that is our illumination wire. They all work out very perfectly, so I'm going to tie everything in right there. Don't have to run these wires all the way down. So this green wire I can just pull on out of here, and then the rest of these wires we will run through this boot right here, all the way across the dash, through the boot over there to that mirror, and we will be all situated. So I'm actually going to disconnect the battery since I'm going to be snipping into some constant hot wires, and I don't want to burn anything up. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little loud so you guys can hear me over the rain, but I did run a piece of, normally this is like hood latch wire or radio antenna wire. It's something that a lot of old timers use to run wires through door jambs, but basically all you do is try and break this rubber boot loose from the door in the cab, and then you want to find some type of long screwdriver, a long pick, anything. Just make sure you don't cut any of the wires inside the boot. Shove it through the boot with this tape to it, and then I have the excess on this side. Now in the next video that you guys most likely will be seeing is me installing the Boost Auto mirrors. I would like to do it all at once, but unfortunately with how YouTube works, I can't make dedicated videos and combine everything at once. So I'm going to run these wires now, and I'll run the wires for Boost Auto in that video. What I was trying to do over down at the corner of the truck was I found a kind of like a marker light. So when you open the door and the courtesy light comes on, the courtesy light for the door. I found the plugs for them at the junkyard. The truck had them in it. Unfortunately, I tried to hook it into the door latch wire, but that's an open circuit when the door is closed, and when it closes that circuit and turns on the overhead light. So what it was doing was leaving the light on when the door is shut, turning the light off when the door is open. So what I'll have to do, whenever I run the turn signal wires, I'll run a wire to the dome light as well. That way, when the door opens, that light comes on. I don't know why the truck was not optioned with that. The door panel has the cutout for it, but it's not there. Now with this door panel all back together, yes, the plastic bezel did not like the acetone, but I'm still dealing with Amazon trying to get a refund for mine that they lost, and then I'll be ordering another one. But I can't find a black one. I can only find gray and tan, so I ordered a tan one because it was cheaper, and I will just be painting both of them. I'm either going to color match them or just paint them gloss black. I haven't quite decided. I think I might go the color match route because this tan and this tan are very similar, and I think some color matched interior pieces on our build list would look pretty cool. But looks completely factory, and we now have the wires ran inside the cab. So all we have to do now is extend these wires across the cab and wire up our new plug, and then those mirrors will plug directly into it and work from both sides. This is actually the easy part. Alright guys, our key is on. We have our right mirror selected. Down. Up. To the right. So I'm gonna go ahead, tie that door back up, get it back together, get our last little bit of wires taped up and out of the way. Then we will close this video out. It's a hot one, guys. I'm out here sweating like crazy, so make sure to drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If you guys learned anything new, make sure to show that support by hitting the subscribe button. The whole reason I do this is to show you guys how to work on your own vehicles. We just upgraded this truck that did not have power mirrors from factory to power mirrors, and along the way of this truck I'm going to continue upgrading, making this a higher and higher package. Once I'm finished with this truck, I would like it to be the highest trim package as possible with extra add-ons as well. I would like to do power seats, heated seats, everything in the future, so stay tuned for that, guys, by hitting that subscribe button and hitting that notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. Let's tidy this door back up. Alright, one last look at everything you guys will need if you're going to do this install yourself on your own truck. So you're going to need a power window switch, which is this right here. We'll have this linked down in the description. You will need the factory plug that plugs into that switch with the appropriate wiring. It's better if you get the wiring that comes with the plug, so you can kind of see what wires go to what if you have the plugs for the mirrors, because that helps you out in the long run. You will need power mirrors, of course. If you don't have power mirrors, this is not going to work. So you're going to need the power mirrors. If you are 08 and up, the 08 and up style plug will work perfect for you. If you are below 08 like I am with this 1999, you will need the adapter harness, which most of the time if you're buying the mirrors for a specific year truck, they may come with the adapter harness. If not, they can be found all over the internet. I will have one link down below that you guys can use. And then you will just need wiring that goes to both sides. Now, like I had mentioned earlier, I could not find the plugs anywhere online. I checked everywhere and I could not find them. I checked forums, I checked eBay, I checked Amazon, I checked all over Google, typed it into Google. I can't even find really wiring diagrams for this exact install, so I will post a screenshot at the end of the video for you guys to screenshot yourself if you would like to use that same pin that I did. I found that in a forum back from like 2011, I believe, and it helped me out a lot with this, telling me what wires were what. Mainly, you just need to know your power, ground, and kind of everything else from there. You just match up with the given plugs. That's why it's nice to have the original wires with the plugs. So if you guys can get lucky like I did and find a parts truck at a junkyard and take the wires from that truck, it will save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration, because you can kind of just see where everything goes from there. So once you get everything together, I do suggest going online, buying some wire that matches the wire you already have. That was my whole plan, and then the wiring got lost. Wiring arrived after I've kind of already done everything, and it was a lot smaller gauge than what I needed. I'm going to suggest to you guys to get a 14 gauge wire. That's going to be about the appropriate size for the wire that you're running. I was not able to find that, unfortunately, but you guys should be able to find it. So if I can look again, I will post some down in the description below for you guys to go check out. So if you guys made it to the end of the video, please drop a big like on it. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, or you would like to see future upgrades and learn how to do this stuff yourself in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Be fucking great.